Welcome or welcome back to MyLeah's Cuppa Books. I'm MyLeah, and I'm the host of this really amazing podcast and online community that's all about holy girls who read clean fiction and Christian fiction. If you're interested in some book reviews, some bookish discussions, and book recommendations, then stick around because this is the place for you. Today's episode is all about book recommendations. I have a few books that I want to share with you that I think you, as a holy girl, need to add to your bookshelf or your TBR. It's going to be those Black Christian romance cozy stories that you just need in your life. And I'm also wearing, if you're watching, I'm wearing a really cute, like red and pink cozy cardigan. It's super soft and it's giving me romance vibes, and I thought it was super sweet for this video. You'll probably see it in another video too, just because it's super sweet and we love over here, especially clean romance and especially Christian romance when you can have all of those together and have like Black girls at the center and Black romance just in general, Black main characters. I'm here for it as a Black woman. I feel like there are not a lot of books out there, especially in the clean Christian genre, that just feature Black characters specifically as main characters and that are by Black authors. There are definitely some, but when you look that up, like on Amazon, for instance, or just in general, when you do a general search, I feel like I don't see a lot of Black authors pop up. And so when I find books by Black authors in this realm with the clean fiction and Christian fiction, it makes me very, very happy. It makes me so happy. And one of those authors that I've been reading a lot more recently is Toni Shiloh. Toni Shiloh is probably one of my top authors already, and I've been reading how many of her books? I think I've read I think I'm on my fourth or fifth one so far. And I just started reading her books like late last year. So I think in December of 2025, I started reading her books, and I'm already on like my fifth one. I would just recommend, if you are looking for Black Christian romance, I feel like she just does it so well. Of course, her books are clean. From the ones that I have read, I will say I have one here. I actually forgot that I requested this copy from the library, but this is the one that I'm reading right now. I just didn't know that I had the physical copy. I totally forgot that I had it on my shelf. And this is a part of her, it's I'm reading the cover. It says, A Love in the Spotlight novel. So the series is called Love in the Spotlight. And there were 3 books. So I've been listening to all of them as an audiobook. And I finished book 1 and 2, and now book 3, this one. Wait, no, I'm totally wrong. This is book 2. I just finished this one yesterday as an audiobook. Yeah, and I'm on book 3, which is, I think it's called The Nature of Love or something. So anyways, all that to say, I will try to link them down below or like list them in the show notes or description box so that you can see them, since I totally just messed up the lovely titles. But what I love about this series is that it's basically sort of like my book series, which is really fun. And like if you've read the Green Sisters series, which is not a clean romance series, but the idea of it is that each sister gets a book. They each get a romance arc. They each get like a romance story. And so and I related it to my book series too. So in my book series, each best friend of one of my main characters gets their own romance book in that series, which is really cool. So my book will be linked down below if you're interested as well. But also the reason why I bring it up is because I love all the connections. I brought that up because of this and this because of that. But just like with my book series, what I love about Toni Shiloh's series, the Love in the Spotlight series, each friend of one of the main characters in the first book gets their own love story. And I just thought that was so cute. It's so adorable. The first book, it was more about, the main character, I think, was Lamont and Nevaeh, and she was like a celebrity hairstylist, but she also worked at a salon and stuff. And he's like I imagine him as Michael B. Jordan, but he's like a famous actor who was voted like sexiest man alive, all of that. So I saw him as like Michael B. Jordan with like this lovely hairstylist who works for his mom and works for him. And they end up having a fake dating relationship, sort of. And I will say, so I'm trying like not to give too many things away, but what I love about what Toni Shiloh did with this book is in this series is if you pick up this series, you will literally get a different love story each time. You'll get different tropes, and they're all clean. It's all clean. It's all Christian, and they're all different. I'm reading the last one right now, and I was about to cry because trigger warnings for the last one. There's like grief in that one. Won't give too much away, but I will say you get the other characters that will have their own books. You get to kind of see them a little bit. Like they're usually like texting the main character. They're in like a group chat because they're all best friends. And in this series, it's the guys. Each guy gets their own book, but wait, am I saying this right? So in the first book, Lamont has two male best friends, guy best friends. And those two best friends are the male love interests in the other two books. Yeah. So that I was like, how do I explain this? Because it's all connected, but they're also all set in different states. So like the first one I think was set in LA, Los Angeles, California, and the second one is more of like a country romance. I was like, okay, I loved all of them, but I think I want to say I'm not even done with the series yet. I'm on book 3 right now, but I feel like book 2 may have been my favorite. Loved all of them so far, but like I just loved book 2 was like a friends to lovers romance, and they both were in love with each other, but didn't think that the other one was, so they wouldn't like talk about it at first. And you just have so much going on. And I was getting cowboy romance vibes and all of that. I love it. It was set in Kentucky, so country love. It was great. I really, really love that one. That one made me smile like right away. But also the first one did too, especially in the first chapter when you're kind of, I think it was like the first few chapters where you're getting the setup for the fake dating. I was also like, ooh, okay. So both books, very good. I would say that this series is definitely like a high rating for me personally. But also, book 3, just started it, not done yet. This one is more of a, I'm trying to figure out the trope. I will be honest, I just started it today. And as I was listening to it, I was like, so is it slow burn? I feel like it's a slow burn romance because something happens at the beginning where it's like, oh, like they kind of like each other, but they're both sort of hesitant to be in a relationship. And so they're both sort of moving slow. And so I feel like it's a slow burn romance, and for the right reasons, especially with what happens at the towards the beginning. But I love how different each book is, how they all kind of have their own tropes. Like again, I said, I'm still trying to figure out what's going on in the last book, but I love how they're also connected and yet different and yet totally like their own thing. And I feel like Toni Shiloh has created a very unique place, an easy place to start if you're looking for like Black romance, Black Christian romance, clean romance to be able to pick up and love right away. And it feels like, it just feels good. It doesn't feel like, I think sometimes people think that Christian romance or clean romance, it doesn't feel authentic, or it's like, you're just going to hear a bunch of Bible verses thrown in there. Like people are just putting Bible verses and being like, amen, and they kissed and that was it. No, it's not like that at all. And she does talk about faith. She talks about faith. And what I love about in this series especially is that each character, even in like the romantic partners in each book, they're at different places in their stages of faith. And so they're not all strong believers. I think one in the last book, I'm pretty sure she's like a non-believer at the beginning of the book. And that's where I am right now. And so, but the other guy is strong in his faith. And like, it's cool because you get to see how people grow and how they're growing individually and growing together. And that's something that I think you get in clean romance books like this, Christian romance books too, where it's not just like clean because there's no spice, but there's also like that added faith-based bonus that I think is just really needed. Like I think it just goes together really well. And so highly recommend this series. Again, almost done with it. So far, really loving some Toni Shiloh books. Okay, I do have another book to recommend to you, and I'm actually going to read some of it. I don't know if you guessed yet, but it is my book. It is Ceaselessly Yours by me, MyLeah Simone Marks. It is a no spice, clean, cozy Christian romance with Black main characters. It's set in a fictional small town called Selah Falls, and oh my goodness, can you believe that it is inspired by The Great Gatsby? It's actually one of my favorite projects that I've done so far. It is a story that I love so much. I love these characters, and I highly recommend too because again, it's by me, a Black author. I'm not being biased, but am I? I don't know. But it's by me. I'm a Black author, and I got to write about Black characters, and I just feel like this is something again for me, I think I may have mentioned in this episode or maybe another episode, I just feel like a lot of clean and especially Christian romance books, you don't see a lot of Black authors. You don't see a lot of them. You're starting to see a lot more, but when you look up Christian romance books, a lot of times you're going to see books by white authors. And I just feel like what a blessing to be able to add to the genre and to show brown girls and Black girls like me, like, hey, we exist and we can have those cozy, sweet romance stories too. So highly recommend. And I just had to pull it up, and I picked one of my I had a little placeholder here. I just dropped my little placeholder, but I think it's actually on page 138 of my book. I'm trying to catch the light here. And so this book is really cool too, because I have, my two main characters, my two love interests. If you're familiar with The Great Gatsby, you don't have to be to read the story, but if you are, you will note a lot of Great Gatsby Easter eggs in this book. So my main characters, the male love interest is Jay Gatsby, and the female love interest is Nick Carraway. So those are their names. We have different point of views. It's Nick's point of view, and I'm going to read a bit. This is sort of later on in the story, but you get sort of the yearning that this couple has. It's a second chance romance. We do have a sort of yearning, will they, won't they? Sort of like, will we let it stay in the past, or will we pursue a new love, and what does God have in store for us kind of vibe. But all that to say, I had to prep you for this, okay? Are you ready? Okay, let's get into it. Do you still love me? He closes the space between us, pressing me against the car. Why does it matter now, Jay? I ask. How am I supposed to think straight with him this close? With him looking at me like that? I know I loved him. I still do. But I know I shouldn't. Not anymore. Nick. I hold my breath when he says my name. I hold my words and my patience too. I'm holding in years of missing him, years of hating him, and years of wanting him back. I hold in the I love you and I'm sorry that almost comes out of my mouth. Of course, I still love him, but I don't want to be like my parents, the toxic on and off again dynamic. I want one love, steady and sure. That's why I can't let myself give in to him, to us. I remember what you wrote in your last letter, I say to him. I opened it when you dropped me off at home after prom that night. Remember when you used to write me letters? He nods, but doesn't speak, so I keep going. You wrote, I have to go... Wait, actually, I don't know if I should read this. I'm like reading this and I'm like, wow, this is really good, but I don't know if I should read that part. So I'm going to stop because I realize I don't want to give away too many spoilers. But that is a little bit of the love story from Ceaselessly Yours. And as you can see, there is physical attraction. There is like, they like each other. She's nervous. She's around him and she's like, oh my goodness, like, how can I think straight around him? She loves this guy. There's love. There's questions of, should we be together? And all these things. It feels very real. And just because it's a clean romance and just because it has faith in it, doesn't mean it's not interesting, doesn't mean there isn't drama and things they have to figure out, as you can see. But if that intrigued you, then yes, pick this book up so that you can figure out what happens to Nick and Jay and how, it all works out in the end. But that is just one example of how impactful, clean Christian books can be, especially in the romance genre and by Black authors. So if you enjoyed those books that I mentioned in this video, I want you to make sure that you comment down below and let me know, what recommendations do you have for some clean Christian books by Black authors, clean romance Christian books by Black authors that you can put down in the comments so that we can share those book recs with others and with me, because I'm always looking to add some new reads to my TBR and to my bookshelf as well. Also, my book is down below in the description box if you're interested in reading Ceaselessly Yours. It's available on KU, on Amazon, and also as an e-back. That's hilarious. No, as an ebook and as a paperback as well on Amazon. And Toni Shiloh, again, those books by her I got from my library, but you can also find them on Amazon. I'm pretty sure at some bookstores as well, but I did see them on Amazon. This is not sponsored by Toni Shiloh or Amazon or anything. Those are just books that I love and I did happen to look them up on Amazon. So just a little tidbit for you. You can follow me on social media. I'm on TikTok and YouTube at MyLeah's Cuppa Books, and you can check out the podcast on YouTube and on Spotify. All my links are down below in the show notes or description box, depending on how you're tuning in today. And until next time, thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.